I love it. Is it comfy?
Mm-hmm.
Always has been. Great. How'd I do?
Dang!
Thanks.
You look really good.
Thanks.
You look very nice.
I love it. It's a great dress. I love it. I haven't seen this.
You haven't?
Nope.
I thought I showed it to you.
You didn't do a great job hiding it, but I didn't look.
It's been sitting in the closet.
Hello, everyone. My name is Steven Sleesman, and I have the absolute privilege and honor of being here with two of my best friends at their vow renewal ceremony. They gave me a very nice script. I'll get to that at some point. You saw the sign coming in over 700 days overdue for you guys to get the proper celebration. And I'm ecstatic to be here to be able to kick this off and to be with all of your friends and family here. I've had the pleasure of knowing Mark for a very long time and Jen for quite some time now as well. And they really do make an incredible pair. And while I'll save the best stories for Frank and Maggie for you guys later in the evening, I did want to just share one of why when I knew, I think Mark and Jen were ready for each other, and there's panic in their eyes right now, so they have no idea where this is going. But I'll keep it quick, and then and we'll get to the rest of it. But a few years back, we went on one of our first trips together with Mark and Jen and Amy and myself, and we were playing a game, and it's a card game, very simple, couple rules, and the first part of the game is you flip a card and you have to guess what color it is. So we went all the way through it, and I said, all right, Mark, you ready? And he said, yep. I said, all right, Mark, what color is it? And with the most confidence I've ever seen, slammed his hand on the table and goes, blue. And the way Jen thought this was the funniest thing in the entire world, and watching her calmly explain to Mark that blue couldn't possibly be a color because there's only red and black cards in a deck, I said, I think these two might work out. I think that's going to be pretty good. And I don't know. So, anyways, I digress. So I want to start by thanking all of you guys again for coming here. It's been quite the journey for these two, from well before their wedding back in April of 2020 to now where we get to properly celebrate. It was a little over 2 years ago when they had their final meeting with the Century House to confirm all of the details for the wedding. And unfortunately, they had to make the difficult decision at that time to postpone the celebration so that we could have everyone here to safely celebrate. So when Plan A didn't work, they looked for a Plan B and a Plan C. And I think it was about Plan Y or Z where they ended up landing on a really gorgeous ceremony at the grotto at Siena College with just a small group of 8 of their family and friends. So with that, I would say if you haven't seen the video of that ceremony as well, ask them for it. It's quite the video. So highly recommend. Since that day, Mark and Jen have shared 2 incredible married years together. They moved into their first home together. They adopted Kona, their dog, and Jen graduated middle school, albeit virtually, and Mark went through quite the stock market run of the past 2 years, earning some of his financial stripes, and unfortunately they didn't give you a break this week. It wasn't exactly a stagnant week, but that's all right. We'll talk on Monday about that. And although they have yet to be able to make it to their Hawaiian honeymoon, they've traveled to many national parks and many more in their future. These guys are avid travelers, and I think that's something that will continue to be a value and joy for you guys to share together. Although they were married 2 years ago, they felt it wasn't fully complete without a celebration with their friends and family. So that's why we gather all here today to renew their vows a little more than 2 years after their original wedding date. A lot of people believe that entering marriage is the final step, or maybe a culmination of a relationship or of love. But the way they see it, it's really the beginning. It's the beginning of a lifelong adventure, one that they have been on already and look forward to continuing that and having this be another milestone in their relationship with the vow renewal today. Both Mark and Jen's grandparents are here with us today. Bill and Dottie Desbians and Ed and Mary Allfavor, celebrating anniversaries this year of over 60 years each of marriage. So truly, truly incredible. So Mark and Jen very smartly reached out to them and said, what's some words of advice that you guys would offer us, enter in some of our early years of marriage here. So Ed and Mary offered the following piece of advice. Good marriage requires work. It does not always come easy. Lean on your faith to stay connected as a couple. And never forget all of the reasons that you fell in love with your partner in the first place. Mark's grandparents, Bill and Dottie, offered their advice in a simple phrase. And that phrase is, yes, dear. So I wrote that one down for myself. That's a good one. I like that one. Mark and Jen, you have shared the joys, blessings, and yes, challenges of marriage. And this day, it is your wish to reaffirm your commitment to working together to make your marriage continue to strengthen in the years to come. May this ceremony, renewing the vows you took to become husband and wife on your wedding day, remind you that despite the stresses inevitable in everyday life, your love, respect, trust, and understanding of each other will continue to grow. Please join hands as you recite your vows to each other. Jen, repeat after me. Mark, I promise to love and honor you.
Mark, I promise to love and honor you.
To support you through good times and bad.
To support you through good times and bad.
To shoulder your burdens as if they were my own.
To shoulder your burdens as if they were my own.
And to celebrate each joyful success by your side.
And to celebrate each joyful success by your side.
I promise to treat you with kindness, compassion, and patience.
I promise to treat you with kindness, compassion, and patience.
And to remain honest and faithful.
And to remain honest and faithful.
This day and every day forward.
This day and every day forward.
As your loving friend and wife.
As your loving friend and wife.
Mark, repeat after me. Jennifer, I promise to love and honor you.
Jennifer, I promise to love and honor you.
To support you through good times and bad.
To support you through good times and bad.
To shoulder your burdens as if they were my own.
To shoulder your burdens as if they were my own.
And to celebrate each joyful success by your side.
And to celebrate each joyful success by your side.
I promise to treat you with kindness, compassion, and patience.
I promise to treat you with kindness, compassion, and patience.
And to remain honest and faithful.
And to remain honest and faithful.
This day and every day forward.
This day and every day forward.
As your loving friend and husband.
As your loving friend and husband.
On your wedding day, you exchanged rings as a symbol of the never-ending circle of love. Rings serve as a reminder of your wedding vows to each other and your commitment to living in unity, love, and happiness. At this time, it is appropriate to reconfirm the meaning of the rings that you wear. These are rings of precious metal. They have value and great worth. Today, they are vibrant and shiny. With wearing, they will become weathered and worn, and yet their value and worth will deepen. The rings are complete and whole. They are endless circles without a beginning or an end. Please join your left hand together so that Mark's hand is on top. That's what I was talking about. Mark, please repeat after me. Jen, I wear this ring you placed on my hand.
Jen, I wear this ring you placed on my hand.
As a symbol of my love and commitment to you.
As a symbol of my love and commitment to you.
Jen, please put your left hand on Mark's and repeat after me. Mark, I wear this ring you placed on my hand.
Mark, I wear this ring you placed on my hand.
As a symbol of my love and commitment to you.
As a symbol of my love and commitment to you.
Mark, Jen, today you have renewed the promises and vows you made to each other on your wedding day. You have symbolized the renewal of the marriage union by the joining of hands, the taking of vows, and by the wearing of your wedding rings. It is with pleasure that I conclude the ceremony that joins you and binds you as husband and wife. Please celebrate this renewal of vows with a kiss.
We didn't practice that. Good? We did it.
Oh, thanks.
darling, all the privilege would be mine. I don't take it for granted. In all my imperfection, I thought I learned my lesson, that I'd never be loved by someone like you. I've changed up my direction, but sometimes I still question if I was worth the love of someone like you. In all my imperfection, I thought I learned my lesson, that I'd never be loved by someone like you. I've changed up my direction, but sometimes I still question how I was worth the love of someone like you. You take me as I am, you take me as I am. You take me as I am, you take me as I am. You take me as I am, you take me as I am. You take me as I am, you take me as I am. In all my imperfection, I thought I learned my lesson, that I'd never be loved by someone like you. I've changed up my direction, but sometimes I still question if I was worth the love of someone like you. And I swear to never let you go, not even for a moment.
And now, to direct your attention to the entryway to my immediate right. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present to you the parents of the bride. Please welcome Mr. and Mrs. Phil and Brenda Roach. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice welcome, if you will, for the parents of the groom, Mr. and Mrs. Jim and Jackie Papuza. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to present our bridal party by first inviting you to please welcome bridesmaid Elizabeth Marsh, escorted by groomsman Cody Martell. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome bridesmaid Eva Zalis, escorted by groomsman Vinny Tashin. A nice welcome, if you will, for bridesmaid Carissa Long, escorted by groomsman Jeremy Hoffman. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome bridesmaid Jamie Horrigan, escorted by groomsman Michael Roach. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome bridesmaid Christy Wilkinson, escorted by groomsman Tim Copping. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice welcome for bridesmaid Becky Roach, escorted by groomsman Zach Lennox. A nice welcome, if you will, ladies and gentlemen, for bridesmaid Amy Vaccaro, escorted by groomsman Steve Sleesman. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice welcome seated amongst you, our lovely flower girl. Give it up for Miss Kennedy Bassett. To my left. At this time, it's my pleasure to present the bride and groom's honor attendants. Please welcome Maid of Honor Maggie McDonough, escorted by best man Frank Lombardi. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I would first like to invite you all to please rise and join me in welcoming the brand new Mr. and Mrs. Mark James Papuza.
Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over sideways and under, on a magic carpet ride. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go. Say we're only dreaming.
A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with
Now
you.
I'm in a whole new world with you.
Unbelievable sight, indescribable feeling, soaring, tumbling, free-willing through an endless diamond sky. A whole new
Don't you dare close your eyes.
straight down to
Hold your
leave
breath,
the
it gets
sea.
better.
I'm like a shooting star. I've come so far. I can't go back to where I used to be.
When you arise, you pursue.
I'll chase them anywhere. There's time to spare. Let me share this whole new world with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a nice round of applause, if you will, for Jen, Mark, their grandparents, their parents, of course, their bridal party, and that lovely dance. Nicely done, you two. Table, and I invite you to please welcome once again the father of the bride, Mr. Phil Roach, has a few words he'd like to share with us.
Good evening. My name is Phil Roach, but tonight I'm only known as Jen's dad. On behalf of my wife and I would like to thank everyone for coming here tonight. You're 2 years late. We had a great ceremony a couple of years ago, but we appreciate everyone coming here today. We know a lot of you traveled a long distance, and we really appreciate it. We've been blessed with 3 wonderful children, Mike, Jen, and Becky, but today it's all about Jen. Oh, yeah. The redheaded guy too, I guess. You all know Mark is a great guy, but from a dad's perspective, there's never anyone quite good enough for your daughter. But Mark had something else. He had a secret weapon that sealed the deal. Jim and Jackie Papuza are 2 of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. And we are so glad that we are now family with them. My wife and I were very fortunate that we Met Mark fairly early on in a relationship, and we were there, and Mark proposed on the shores of beautiful Keuka Lake. This afternoon, I realized, as I was getting dressed and practicing my toast here, two very important things. First, I look really good in this tux. Second, Mark is a great guy, a great son, a great son-in-law, and as all you know, a great friend. And we're very fortunate to be part of his family. But there's a story about Mark that I think says a lot about him. Their first Valentine's Day. So Mark has many, many good qualities. But he offered to impress Jen and make a Valentine's Day dinner. And his abilities in the kitchen are not his strong suit. So as he was preparing dinner, he sliced off a large part of his finger and was bleeding, blood everywhere. And Jen saying, well, you know, you ought to get that taken care of. Mark says, no, I'm not going to screw up this date and risk losing this girl over a little bit of blood. So he did not go, part macho, part, not trying to screw up the date. The next day, suffering from blood loss, he does go to he finally gets a transfusion and gets squared away there. And Jen said, if this guy's willing to bleed to death for me, he might be the guy. So they now have a new Valentine's Day tradition. They go out to dinner. It's hard to believe that it's been more than 28 years since that 8-pound, 11-ounce girl came into our lives. It has gone so fast. I'm so grateful to be the dad of 3 wonderful children, including Jen. Now you are a grown woman, smart, compassionate, resilient, beautiful, and a great person. And you probably have some good qualities from Brenda's side of the family, too. A toast, usually comes with some advice, but I really don't think Mark and Jen need any advice. They've been doing this for 2 years, and they seem to be on the right path here. So at this point in time, let's raise our glasses. To Jen and Mark, we wish you health, happiness, adventure, and no sharp knives.
Hi everyone, I'm Maggie, Jen's maid of honor. We met at Siena and then eventually Albany met together. I'd like to start by thanking the Papuza and Roach families for such a lovely gathering for all of us to celebrate 2 years late, but right on time. For years I've said if I were to have to choose a partner for a show like The Amazing Race, I would choose Jen. For those of you who don't know, the premise of the show is that you would travel the world following increasingly difficult obstacles and trying to figure it out between the two of you. Besides imagining just how fun it would be to travel the world with your best friend, it's purely practical to choose Jen, as she probably has already been there, being so ridiculously well-traveled. But besides that, I've seen a number of skills and qualities in Jen over the years that I feel would make her an ideal co-contestant. So Jen might have been one of the only people I knew in college who moved in freshman year with a full toolkit and was certainly the only one who used it with any regularity. It quickly earned her the nickname of Jenny the Engineer, perhaps taking after Brenda. Jen was always the one to turn to when something broke or needed to be hung up on a wall or to make a cute but structurally sound Halloween costume. Freshman year, Jen also had the unofficial title of general chemistry tutor to Mark, who, God love him, never quite got the hang of our online homework owls, but found another calling in business instead and has never looked back, and has also never made fun of us and his infinite patience when we ask him basic questions about finance. Over time, we came to, as a friend group, to appreciate Jen as a patient listener and impartial voice of reason, maybe taking after Phil, the judge. She could always see both sides to a story and continues to help us to do the same. But as anyone who watched The Amazing Race remembers, it's not all about just having those skills and attributes, but rather about having patience with your partner when things do inevitably go wrong. And Jen has this patience in abundance. Senior year, we were heading to North Carolina, co-leading a Habitat for Humanity trip. I mistakenly made a left turn out of a rest stop, heading back up north, resulting in a 30-minute detour. Jen, with 6 other people in the back, Jen reassured me, saying, no, that was super confusing. Totally understandable. And not for nothing, Father Larry gave me a way harder time and totally roasted me about it. So I am basically saying that Jen is more patient than a priest. This patience was also put to the test when my erratic dancing senior year chipped Jen's front tooth. Somehow she wasn't even mad, and it really is just too bad that we've got 6 doctors and not a single dentist here. Jen, in all seriousness, you excel in each role that you fill as a wife, a daughter-in-law, a physician, Miss Glacier Bar 2020 finalist, dog mom to Kona, and doting godmother to your friends' children. Mark, you've got the best partner to handle every up and down on this journey together. And who would have thought that the true amazing race would have been the multi-year global pandemic-induced wedding planning marathon? Watching you both cancel the wedding, replan the wedding, cancel that rescheduled wedding, and then finally settle on this date was a masterclass in patience and grace. So most wedding speeches probably end wishing the newlyweds well on their new foray into married life. You two have the benefit of already having 2 years of marriage under your belts. So instead, I propose a toast to celebrate making it through the past 2 years and to relishing in the amazing journey that you both have ahead of you.
How about a nice round of applause for Maggie, ladies and gentlemen?
How we doing, everybody? Everybody good? Very good. One more round of applause for the amazing job. I'm going to try not to depend on this paper here, but I have so much to say, and I'm not going to take long, I promise you. But if you see me looking down, that's why. I just want to make sure I get it all out here. We met playing basketball, Mark and I, but we got close in school. We had a study hall together. In the interest of full disclosure, it was Mark's study hall. I was supposed to be in another class. Spent my time elsewhere, of course. We all know Mark, right? I mean, how happy he always is. He's had a smile on since he was been born, right? And Zach, actually, one of our good friends, always is talking about Mark and compares him to a golden retriever because he's so happy all the time. And I just think it's the best comparison that I could think of. So I'll give the credit to you, Zach, but it's true for sure. He's always been a straight A student. He was a phenomenal basketball player. He's got all this going for him. He was kind of goofy looking when he was a kid, but he grew out of it. He looks a little bit better now. And with all these good things, and it's always been interesting to me, right, that as great as Mark has been and will always be, he's always told me that he's looked up to me, and he's been surprised by how willing I am to try different things. And what Mark has refused to understand, no matter how many times I tell him, is that any confidence that I have, that I've ever had in my life, that I'll ever have in my life, my willingness to try anything new or anything that's big, at least in my mind, is only because I have him in my corner. Anytime I ever doubted myself, he was the one, and still is the one, on the other end of the phone, telling me to let go of the doubt and just go after whatever it is that I want to do. And God forbid anybody else is doubting me. Mark is on the other end of the phone, even more insulted than I am, telling me not to listen to him and just to get after it. And as I look around here and I see all the smiles on all of your faces, as I tell this kind of a story, it's very obvious to me that I'm not the only one who Mark has done that for. And we love him for that. Jen, J-Lo, AKA Jenny from the block. You really do have it all. You are accomplished, you're intelligent, you're beautiful. It all makes me wonder how you chose the guy who used to tell me that jumping in the pool after a workout was a good shower, but it is neither here nor there. Can't play pool basketball in the shower, Frank. It's a true story, friends. In all seriousness, you've given Mark culture. You've showed him the entire world through your eyes and through your experiences. And you make him feel like he can do anything. And we all know how wonderful you are with Mark and all the things you do for him, but I don't think many of you know what Jen has done for me in my own life. Whenever I've been upset, confused, whatever it may be, Jen is there to pick me up. Whenever I'm happy and I'm excited, Jen's there to celebrate with me, wine in hand, which is wonderful. I love drinking wine with you and sharing stories with you. I love your logical and analytical approach to all the questions that I have. We have a very nice shared curiosity and love for learning. And it's so special to me that no matter how tired Jen is after a 30-something hour shift, whatever she's doing, she's always fine with me asking her some sort of medical question because I watched House earlier or whatever it may be. And only because she knows that it makes me so happy to leave more intelligent than I arrived. You're a godsend to Mark, you're a godsend to me, and to all of us near and far who are lucky enough to call you a friend and family. So, everybody, I've got a little surprise for Mark. Phil was telling a story about when Mark proposed to Jen. I was lucky enough to drive out and took some pictures, and I was there, and it was a great occasion. And at that occasion, right, we were standing outside at the lake, and Mark gave me this bottle of scotch. I love scotch. And from being his best man, and he's very generous, right? It was a lovely gift. I've displayed that bottle of scotch in every apartment and every place that we have lived since that day. And every day he comes over and he'll say, "Frank, God, that is the most expensive decoration that must be in your entire house. When are you gonna drink that?" And I always would tell him that we're gonna find the right time. We're gonna wait for the right day. And my brother, today is that day. So. So if everybody can raise their glass alongside me. To my little brother and my sort of new sister, his gorgeous better half, to a life of happiness, to a life of much success, to a life of family and a life of love. I love you both, we all love you both, and we're so thankful to be a small part of your wonderful journey. Salud.
How about a nice round of applause for Frank, ladies and gentlemen? And another nice round of applause for the father of the bride. host of the Zac Brown Band.
Most nights I try to pack, got you climbing on my back, saying, Daddy, when am I gonna see you again? You know I gotta go out on the road and get on with the show. So most nights your mama's gonna tuck you in. When you're missing me, look at the stars up there. I'll be wishing on the same ones to sing this Father's prayer. I hope you see the 7 wonders. I hope you sail the 7 seas. I hope you let the whole world in your heart, but you still got room for me. I hope you find a guy that treats you right. On your wedding night I'll raise a toast. Hope he understands I'll always be the man that loves you the most.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for Mr. Phil Roach and his daughter Jen.
I got you. I'll be right here. Listen. Come stop your crying, it will be alright. Just take my hand, hold it tight now. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry. For what's so small, you seem so strong now. My arms will hold you, keep you safe and warm. This bond between us can't be broken. Said I'm gonna be here, don't you cry. You'll be in my heart. You'll be in my heart, yeah. From this day on, now and forevermore.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark and his mom would like to invite all of you to join them on the dance floor. Come on out.
Baby, just can't take her eyes off me. I don't blame it on the sunshine. I don't blame it on the moonlight. I don't blame it on the good times. I blame it on the boogie. Don't you blame it on the sunshine. I don't blame it on the moonlight. I don't blame it on the good times. I blame it on the boogie. I just can't control my feet. 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 Sunshine, I don't blame it on the moonlight. I don't blame it on the good times. I blame it on the boogie. I don't blame it on the sunshine. I don't blame it on the moonlight. I don't blame it on the good times.